Hi, this is Kim with Mom's Creative Moments. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to go ahead and do the fourth quarter beginner layout for our project recipe today. And so that's going to be super fun. I hope you are excited to join us. I hope if you're a beginner that these beginner level layouts are helping you. In the new year, I'm hoping to have a new series I'm going to do where every week we do something different to help people who are just starting out with scrapbooking to gain a new skill or learn a new technique so that you can be well on your way to doing fantastic layouts that you're excited about. So I hope you'll join me for that. But let's get started on this quarter's beginner level project recipe, and let's check out my workspace. Okay, so this is my desktop for today. This is the beginner project recipe for quarter four, and it's actually really cute and very fast and easy. So let me just run through a couple of features that this has. Notice how many photos you can put on here. You've got 1, 2, 3 on the left side, 1, 2, 3 on the right side. So that's a total of 6 photos the way they have it here. Consider this. Each of these 4x6 photos that are right here full size, you could, if necessary, cut those down and make those 3x4 and just put a little tiny bit of space in between them, and then you have a totally different layout and a room for a whole bunch more photos. So if you are like me and you take a lot of photos at Christmas time, you could fit quite a few photos on this layout and not have to modify it very much at all. You would just need to change the sizes of your photos, and you could add 4 more photos to this, maybe even just a couple more if you separated this one over here. So, you know, keep that in mind as an option. I'm going to give you some other options as we get to the end of putting this together, because it is going to go by fairly quickly. You only need 1 designer sheet of paper to create this project recipe. However, it is helpful if you have 2 for each base sheet. Either that, or you will need some cardstock to use as the base sheet for this layout. So I have chosen a couple of designer sheets to use along with this layout. These paper choices come from the new holiday collection that came out just this year called Christmas Cheer. And I chose this really cool stripe right here because it has both the red stripe, and if you look very closely, it has a gold stripe and a silver stripe in it along with the white. So if you, at first glance, it looks just like, you know, maybe a candy cane stripe, but it actually has more to it, which I really love, because that allows us to use this as our accent paper and use these 2 sheets, which are also from the same collection, Christmas Cheer, as our base sheets. You can see this paper has a silver pattern in it, a silver star pattern. Let me see if I can bring this up here where you can see it a little closer. I'll just adjust my focus so you can see that star. See that cute little star? It's very much a very light blue or silver pattern to that paper. And you can see the paper, the gold paper, and how it has an ornament pattern in it, which is very cool. Okay, so we're going to use these 2 papers for our base sheets, and we're going to use the peppermint stripe as our accent sheet. That means this is the one we're going to be cutting and doing a few things with. So you'll as a beginner, if you've been following my beginner series, you'll be familiar with the project recipe. So a project recipe again has your colored layout sample, so you can see how one of the designers has put it together. Then it's got what we call a sketch that's all done in grays, and anything that's the same color gray is meant to be the same paper. So these are photos, and they don't necessarily have paper involved in them. But this gray that's behind, or that's behind this photo, is the same as this gray that's over here behind this photo, because it's the same shade. And this one up here and down here and here is also the same, because it is the same shade. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Okay, so let's check out page 2. Page 2 includes an ingredients list, which will tell you everything you need to put this together. Then it'll give you what we call a cutting guide. This is the focal point for me when I look at this at page 2 of a project recipe, any project recipe. I am looking at the cutting guide, and I'm looking for the measurements, and I'm looking for information to tell me what type of paper they're using, which will usually be right here next to where it says cutting guide, and above each of these sketches in the cutting guide, it will usually say designer paper number 1, designer paper number 2, cardstock number 1, cardstock number 2, that kind of thing. So that you know what type of paper they're recommending that you use to put together this project recipe. Now, you can see that this project recipe only uses one piece of paper. That's why we only have one diagram right here. And because this is a beginner project recipe, it's going to also give you photos down here that's going to show you and walk you step by step through assembling this page, which I'm going to do right now, so you will get that added benefit if you have this printed out already. So you can see we're going to cut 4 strips, each at 1 inch. Your paper is already 12 inches, so 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, so 4 of those. Then we're going to turn the remaining paper, and we're going to cut it right down the middle at 8 by 6. So each of these will be 6 inches wide, and this is 8 inches the long way. Okay, so I'm going to get my Creative Memories trimmer, and I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to cut my 4 inches off of this side of my paper. Let me explain why I'm doing that. Your trimmer, if you have the CM trimmer, your trimmer is designed with a shoulder at the bottom and a shoulder at the top. That shoulder is there so that it can help you keep your paper straight. So I'm going to put the bulk of my paper, the largest part of my paper, against one of those shoulders if possible. As long as I'm only cutting a piece that's 1 3/4 inches or less, I can use this shoulder up here or this shoulder down here and balance my paper on it to keep it straight. I can also use these measurements on this side of my cutting line to help me make sure that I am cutting straight and getting the measurement that I need. So I've got my paper lined up at 1 inch. You can see that because of the ruler that's at the top here, and there's a ruler at the bottom, and I am on the 1 inch grid line that goes straight down, which you can't see because the edge of my paper is right there. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and push down and slide, and I'm going to cut 4 of these pieces. So I'm just going to slide my paper over gradually, line it up on that 1 inch line, and cut again. And I always prefer to cut pulling my blade towards me. I don't know if that's just me. There might be other people out there that feel the same way, or you might be one of those people that prefers to push your blade forward like that instead of pulling it. But I just feel more comfortable pulling it towards me. So there's my 4 pieces that are 1 inch wide. Then I'm going to turn this, right? I'm going to turn it and cut it at 6 inches. Now, one of the tricks about this trimmer is that when they designed it to be 5.5 inches wide. So what that means is that you either have to pull out this arm to be able to know where the 6 inch mark is, or you have to do like I did and create a little cheap piece of plastic that goes up here, and it's just marked so that I know where the 6-inch mark is. That enables me to measure 6 inches and cut my paper without having to open the arm up. Okay, so just a little tip. So now I have my 8x6 pieces. I have my 4 1-inch strips, and now I am ready to assemble my page. So I'm going to grab my base sheets. Here they are. And my first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and put the I'm going to put these strips on, and you can see that these strips are roughly a 1/2 inch from the top edge and a 1/2 inch from the bottom edge. Okay, we know that because with these 8 inches here, there's a lot of math in scrapbooking. I don't know if you've ever noticed that or not, but there is a lot of math. So we've got 8 inches high of paper here, which gives us 4 more inches to play with in our 12-inch page, right? 2 on top, 2 on the bottom. Our 1-inch strip is going right through the middle, so that gives us a 1/2 inch above, a 1/2 inch below our 8-inch piece of paper, another 1/2 inch above our 1-inch strip, and another 1/2 inch below. Okay, so we're gonna do a 1/2 inch above, a 1/2 inch below, and we're gonna put 2 of these on each. I'm gonna go ahead and add my adhesive. I'm using photo safe adhesive. If you're not sure because you haven't been doing this for forever, and you can't judge where a 1/2 inch is, I recommend that you work on a mat. Working on a mat is going to allow you to see at a glance where a 1/2 inch, an inch, 2 inches, whatever it is that you're trying to measure is, and it'll allow you a greater opportunity to keep your lines straight. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this right here on the 1/2 inch mark on my grid that I can see right here. That's the 1/2 inch mark. Okay, and I'm just going to make sure that it's straight, as straight as possible, all the way across my page. Ta-da! Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with the one that's going to go across the top. Notice that I'm only putting my adhesive in about 5 places. This adhesive is very, very capable. You do not need to put your adhesive all the way down the 12 inches of your strip. So if you want to do that just for insurance or peace of mind or something like that, I suppose you can. However, you're going to waste a lot of adhesive, and this stuff, let's face it, this stuff is not cheap, so we don't want to waste it, right? You only need it in about 5 spots, on each end, in the middle, and maybe in between. Okay, so there we've got our first 2 strips. I'm going to bring my other base sheet down, and I'm going to do the same thing with it. But this time, instead of lining it up on my mat, I'm just going to line it up with my base sheet on the other, that's going to go on the other side. And I'm going to use that as my guide for where my paper is going to need to go. Okay, so I'm just going to hold this still so it doesn't shift on me. And I'm going to line this up. So that goes straight across. And you can see already how cool it is that we've got gold and silver and white all mixed up in the same printed paper, because it picks up that color in the background and complements it. Can you tell? Can you see that? so much of scrapbooking is all about finding complementing colors. So by using a collection of papers that are meant to go together, you know they are going to work because they have similar colors in them. Okay, so now I'm going to take the 6x8 pieces that we have here. Notice on the cutting guide it says 8x6 reverse. That means that whatever color I have in these stripes, whichever side I'm choosing to use in these matching stripes, I need to flip this over and use the reverse side when I put this on my page. Okay, so I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to add these pieces to my page, not the striped side out, but with the other side out. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and put this on here. I'm going to put it evenly, even in between both pieces. If you can't tell where that mark is, remember you should have about 1/2 inch on top above this and 1/2 inch below it. Okay, so use your ruler or your mat or whatever to be able to tell that you have that 1/2 inch, and that will help you be centered. Okay, you're going to put it right on the edge, right on the outer edge of your paper, and your photos will fit right here because you have 6 inches left between this edge of the decorative paper we just put on here and this edge of your base page. Okay, so we've got that one. Let's go ahead and do this one. I don't know, there's just something about that stripe. I just really love it. Love the stripe. Maybe it reminds me of candy canes. That's probably what it is. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put this right on the edge and smooth it down so that it's nice and adhered. Now, it is harder to see this one because it does blend in with the background just a little bit more. I know you can see the dots on there, but it does, because it has a white background and this has a white background, it does blend a bit more, but that's okay. It'll be all right. All right, so now we would typically go ahead and embellish. You can see that they have some stickers and ornament up here, and then down here also. And the embellishment's job in a layout is to help your eye know where it needs to go. So when you look at a layout and you see everything, it's probably because the embellishments were placed in such a way that it's drawn your eye from this corner up here all the way across to here. All right, and without those, sometimes our eyes wander all over the page and can't seem to decide what to focus on. So embellishments are really important, and I'll do a lesson next year in my beginners class that I'm going to do on my channel that talks about why you should use embellishments, how you should place them on your layout, and where they should go. And why, okay? Or at least what I've learned. I'm not by any means a visual designer, at least not a professionally trained one, but what I have learned comes from over 25 years of doing scrapbook layouts and the ever-evolving ways that we design those. And I have learned from many, many other people who are professional and have been trained in school about visual arts, and so I can pass on what I've gleaned from them and help you as you design your pages. All right, so these pages are finished except for the embellishments. And there's a couple things I want to suggest to you and see if you might want to do, because really this page is fairly simple, right? It's just our border at the top, our border at the bottom, and then some accent paper on the outside. But if you buy the sticker pack that goes along with this collection and has all the same colors and themes, then it opens up a whole lot of extra funness for you, right? You can come in here and you can take a look at these 12-inch border stickers and maybe add one of those across the top, either across the top of that border or hanging from the bottom. I can see this garland hanging from the bottom of that border strip. Can you see that? Wouldn't that be so cute, hanging across there like that? Or maybe the candy cane. Let's see. This one down here. This one would be super cute as well because of the fact that it has this sort of straight ribbon that goes across and then a scalloped edge. That would be super cute to add underneath there and just kind of give it another different direction to take your eye, right? Super cute. But I think I like the swags best for this particular one. But so let's do that. Let's go ahead and we'll put the swags on just to kind of jazz this up just a little bit. You can do that. You are the designer of your layout. So if you want to add or take away, modify it in any way because it makes you happy, do it. This is your album. This is your scrapbook, your memories. You are the designer and the controller of your fate. But look how cute that is. Oh, I just really love that. Okay. So I'm gonna go do this. I'm really hoping that maybe Creative Memories will come out with a punch that will allow us to cut a swag with a bow in it or something similar to this, because I've been finding that I really wish I had one of those. And previously, the other things that they've come out with are just not quite right. They don't quite look like this, and I just really wish we had something just like that. That would be the coolest. All right, so now we've got our swag across the top. Let's see what kind of embellishments we can cluster together to add to this layout. Let's see. So I'm going to first of all grab some foam squares up here. Foam squares are just to lift your embellishments up off the page just a little bit. Don't let them intimidate you. All they do is augment the special things that you put on your page to add attention, right? So it doesn't really take very much to just lift something up and give it that third dimension appearance. It would be really, really, really nice. So let's see, we're gonna have a larger picture over here. So we want something that can go kind of over in this corner right here. I don't wanna use Noel, although that's cute because it matches this paper and it would disappear if I stuck it there. And I don't want the embellishment I put over here to disappear. So, but I do want to put something that is green to balance the green that I now have across the top with that garland. So what if we did Holly Jolly Christmas? I think that would be super cute, right? Holly Jolly Christmas. And what else could we add to that? We could add a stocking or two, maybe. Oh, these stockings remind me of some stockings we used to have, my sister and I used to have on our bedroom doors. Every year my mom would post or hang these cute little stockings, and she had one and I had one, and they had these little dolls inside, and I think hers was blue and mine was pink or something like that, and super, super cute. It had other Christmassy things sticking out of the top of the stocking, and they were just decorative. They weren't for goodies necessarily, but they sure were cute, and we loved having them having our own little bit of Christmas decoration hanging on our bedroom door. That was really special. All right, so let me see here. I'm gonna go ahead and, it's funny, I haven't really thought about those stockings hanging on our bedroom door for a really long time. If my sister sees this, I wonder if she's thought about those for a bit. Anyway, do you have a favorite Christmas memory? I would love it if you shared that in the comments on my page. Your favorite, maybe your favorite memory from childhood or from when your kids were little, whatever you'd like to share. I would love that. I think Christmas is a time of that, sharing our memories with people. It's important. And that's what we do by scrapbooking. We share our memories. So these cute little golden stars, I'm going to go ahead and take one of them. We have several, so I'm not too worried about using something up that I might want to use somewhere else. So I'm just going to stick this guy kind of jauntily right here, just to sort of connect all three of those together. There we go. And I'm not going to worry about popping that up with anything. Okay, so this is going to adhere right here, just above the edge, maybe 1/4 of an inch above the edge of the paper, and about 1/4 of an inch from the edge out here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take the peeling off the back of my foam squares, because these are double-sided sticky. And those things, these little tabby things, can sometimes get stuck to you. So just a fair warning. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stick this right here. They're very sticky, so wherever you decide to put down your foam square, just know that it's not going to come up easily if you change your mind. So hopefully you won't change your mind, right? All right, and we need something else for over here. You can see in the sample that they have quite a large cluster of embellishments over here in this corner. So let's come up with a cluster that we can put over there as well. Let's see here. I think, excuse me, I think maybe we could put Santa, or we could just put an array of gifts. What do you think? Let's see. We could put stockings with gifts underneath. We could put our little express mail to Santa. Let's see. We've got Holly Jolly Christmas. I do want something that has green in it, and this does have green in it. So let's do that. Let's do some stockings, and let's see if maybe this cute sticker with all the presents can kind of sit sort of behind those stockings that are hanging on the wall. If I can get that to stick and be level and straight, I think that'll be fine. Just like that. And then we could just add one more little, So you can see I have 3 elements down here. I've got quite a few elements right here, but what I was thinking is maybe this cute little mailbox would be a cute thing to add. No, actually, now that I put it next to here, I'm thinking maybe not. Okay, so let me just stick this back on here so I can use it in another layout sometime. There we go. How about if we just put some candy canes there? Does that sound like a good idea? If we just add a candy cane kind of off to the side there. And we put that right in the center. Or maybe just to the side so that we can add a little bit of a title in there of what this layout is about. What could we add to give it a little bit of a title? Deck the halls, Christmas cheer, the magic of Christmas. Oh, I like that, the magic of Christmas. Let's do that. The magic of Christmas. And actually, maybe we don't need the peppermints after all. We could just leave could just do like that. The magic of Christmas. I kind of like that. All right, so I'm just gonna re-stick my candy canes. Stay down there, you. All right, so let me get some foam squares put on here and then we'll be done, right? So let's see, we're gonna use the smaller ones because this has a lot of little narrow spots where we are gonna want to put a foam square. So I'm just adding them to kind of the edges that I don't want stuck down to my page. And if I can overlap it so that the stickers that are sticking together have a little bit of reinforcement, so much the better, right? Let's use a couple of these that are a little bit larger for up here. The cool thing about these foam squares is we now have foam squares that come in different sizes. So when you order your foam squares, you get a variety of sizes instead of just the small ones and the really big ones. You get quite a few different sizes, which is nice. I think there's there's 4 different sizes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's 4 different sizes on each sheet. So that really is helpful when you're dealing with something like this. It has lots of different spaces. Oh, I need one more. Just saw a spot right here that needs a little bit of assistance. Okay. So now the task at hand is to take off all of these little tab things and get these off. And these are notorious for sticking to you. So if you use these, just know that there's a really good chance that you could walk out of your house and have one of these stuck in your hair or stuck on your elbow or clinging to your shirt somewhere that you don't notice. It's happened. So I know you think that's kind of crazy, but it has happened. All right. Now I think I got them all. Yep. You can tell because when you take them off, then the adhesive that's on there is shiny. Okay, so I'm going to center this actually right here, or do my best to center it. And there we go. Now we've got our title for our page. And we have our little eye catcher over here on the side. And remember, you can put 2 full-size photos here and here, a square photo or even another full-size photo right here, 2 full-size photos here and a vertical photo over here, or you could do a horizontal one if you wanted. So again, this layout can hold quite a few photos, and you can dress it up however you want or make it as simple as you want. It just depends on, you know, your style, your taste, what type of layout you're using this for. If it's not for holiday photos, you might not have all that many that you want to put on here. In that case, you could just put a square one here, a 4x6 here, a 4x6 here, a 4x6 here, and just do 3 vertical photos and a square. Why not? It would be fine if you did that. So just keep it in mind, it's your layout. You can customize it how you want to. And the project recipe is a guide, a launching off point to give you some ideas to get you started. I hope this has been helpful to you as you learn more about this craft, and I hope that you'll join me next year as I embark on a series of videos that will hopefully give you more individual instruction and tips on specific things that can improve your product that you're putting, your end product that you're putting out for your album. Thanks so much again for joining me, and until next time, I hope you have many more creative moments. Take care now. Bye-bye.